Lennon,
Yeah, man.
you're a vain sort of man, aren't you? You only care about
Whoa, what
looks,
the
not really
fuck?
substance. You don't really care about storytelling or anything with cinema. You just like eye candy, don't you?
I only care about what's on the surface.
Yeah, only skin
Don't you
deep.
ever mischaracterize me other than that
Someone
ever
that
again.
Well, that's what we're talking about today, is we're talking about costumes, specifically superhero costumes. I feel like right now, and I could be easily proven wrong with any next movie that comes out, but I feel like right now we might be living in a bit of a golden age. I really was a fan of the Superman costumes, all the costumes in that movie. Peacemaker's got some great ones, new Fantastic Four stuff. I just think we're living in a really good age. So that's all nice. We could have a very nice positive video.
I mean, I'd
Let's get
honestly
negative.
say that like most of what we've gotten since the inception of the MCU has been pretty great. And then anything before that, I feel like it's pretty shit. Like TV shit, even for the movies, it's not good. And then we've got technology, and then someone just finally opened up their third eye, and they were just like, you know what? Let's make these costumes a little bit more textured, a little bit more bulky, and a little bit more modern.
I've got an idea with that. I think it's also part and parcel that there's still an element of that throughout the 2010s, but I think once the MCU kicked off, superhero movies weren't scared to be superhero movies. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I agree
everything
with
was
that.
trying to be super realistic. Anyway, let's get into it though. Me and Lennon have both compiled a list of 5 of our least favorite. These could be personal beefs, these could be whatever it is. Least favorite costumes. Now, I've got some that I think are fairly popularly bad. Lots of people think they're bad. And I've also got some hot takes that might be personal beefs.
Ooh.
But Lennon, I want to start with your first one. What is the first superhero costume that you just wish the character was naked instead of wearing it?
Oh, okay. Well, that could be a whole other list, to be honest. you should have told me that's what we were prepping for. I would have given
Any of the
completely different
Catwoman.
answers. Okay, so I always feel like with Superman, I understand, and I feel like I have to explain myself here, but I feel like when it comes to Superman, I understand that typically his costume is like something that is like Mark Kent has like sewn together or something like that, right?
Yeah,
But-
outside of like the new 52, there are
Sure.
deviations to the rule, but I think that's my favorite type of Superman suit.
or like whatever's in Snyder's penis pod or something like that. But I really have never liked Brandon Routh's Superman Returns costume. I just think
I had to think. Yeah, the pure pajama look. Nylon sort of
2006,
looking.
because head to toe, it just doesn't look good. It's like tight on his body, and I feel like for something of this material, it's kind of like a bit of a rubbery aesthetic, but very thin. You need to be like crazy hella jacked underneath, I think. But he was just like a normal muscular looking dude at the time, and because of
Like
that,
fit, but
like fit, but not like, you know, Tremboloni sandwiches, modern Hollywood fit. And I just think that to pull off a look like that, you're probably better off having like, you know, the muscle padding and stuff like that.
Sam Sulek is the next Superman. If we're doing underwear.
Instead of holding his hands out in front of him, he's just like spreading his lats, and that's how he's flying.
He's doing the I know you don't watch much anime, but the All Might lat spread. There's a scene where All Might is flying through the air and he's just doing a perfect lat spread as he flies towards the villain. That's
I wish I
Sulek
knew
as
what you were
Superman.
talking about.
Oh, we'll put the clip in there. Someone will get it. Someone will get what I'm talking about. All right. No, pretty valid. Okay, so I think while we're continuing on this theme of dunking on DC, my first pick was the 2011 Green Lantern look.
Oh,
I hate it.
okay.
Do you remember this CGI monstrosity?
Yes. I mean,
Yes.
it depends on what part of the movie you're talking about. Like, are we talking about the bad guy? Are we talking about
No,
Ryan
I'm talking
Reynolds?
about Green
like,
Lantern, the main man, Ryan Reynolds. And this is a fairly popular hate one. This is maybe the one that I think I put on my list that is my coldest of takes, just because not many people like this, but I especially, the thing is, I can see where they were coming from. In a lot of comic issues, well, basically all of them, the Green Lantern suit is a construct from the ring. So you want it to sort of look like it's going to have, you know, a bit glowy, whatever. So they just went, let's full CGI it. But there's so many ways that they could have done this. Because what you get stuck with a lot of the time is Ryan Reynolds' floating head syndrome, where it's just floating head on top of...
That was pretty bad.
Yeah, really shockingly bad. And also the depth of it doesn't always make sense. There's like this nebulous sort of thing going on behind the logo, and it's like, where does his chest end and start? Like, is it sinking into his body? And I'm also not really a big fan of the domino mask look that he's got going on. I can see that they tried to do like the white eyes for a lot of it by putting some contact lenses on him. But I just think
I didn't like that
overall-
look.
Yeah, and he doesn't have the white eyes. Well, I mean, right now I'm looking at a promo image. I'm pretty sure he has the white eyes later on, but I know there are scenes where he doesn't. It's just overall, it just looks real jank. And like, I know that it's a very different vibe, but the Guy Gardner Green Lantern suit that we just got, and we're about to get a Green Lanterns TV show. I'm sure it's going to be better. It's
You'd hope so.
Just yeah, you'd hope so. Yeah, you'd hope it's better than 2011 CGI PlayStation. I'll say PlayStation 3. We won't say PlayStation 2. Anyway, Lennon, what is your second costume?
Okay, so this is probably going to be a fairly lukewarm take, but
We'll ease our toes into it. I feel like mine get hotter as we go along.
okay,
So,
yeah, I'm
we'll
sure
ease
they
it.
do. I'm sure they do. No, so I think that Ben Affleck has had some of the best Batman costumes, but he's also had some of the worst. So
I know where you're going.
I was going to say,
Exactly where you're going.
this was almost a tiebreaker for me. So it was a cross between the Zack Snyder Justice League goggle suit, the one
I like
where...
that 'cause it's like an alt future. Are you talking about the alternate?
No. I like the, the alternate reality one with the trench coat. I love that one. I think that's awesome.
yeah.
No, I'm talking about the one where it's just like he's riding his little Batmobile and he's got like the cowl with the unnecessary like goggles. Like that just looks really stupid. But the one that I actually hate the most...
Oh, I just Googled it. Yeah, okay, I see what you mean.
It's pretty bad.
I forgot
It's
about
pretty
that.
bad.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Right.
The one that I hate the most is his Batsuit from The Flash.
Yes,
It
that's where I thought you were going.
Is what's that thing that people have when they see like too many holes or something like that? It's like trypophobia or something like that.
I
Like
think it's trypophobia, yeah.
I'm looking at his suit, I'm like, why does it look like that? Like he looks uncomfortable. The suit itself just looks shit. You can see that it's got padding for like his abs, but it's just like they just gave up and they're not even trying to hide it underneath the suit. So it's just
It's
like
weird. And I don't even understand the logic behind it. Like, what's the purpose? If you have like
Yeah.
that differently a designed suit to the standard protocol, you would expect there to be reasoning, but it's never brought up. It's just, oh, he's wearing a shit suit today. Like,
yeah, and I
he
guess that's also part of
everything
it.
else is in the wash. Like,
Yeah, and I guess that's part of it as well, isn't it? Because it's got to look cool, but it's also got to look like functional, and nothing about this looks practical or functional whatsoever.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just really hated this, and also I just don't think that a lot of the times bat suits or a lot of superhero costumes, obviously except for Superman and stuff like that. Like Batman's suit specifically doesn't hold up as well in like direct sunlight. I think where you can see all this light and scrutiny. I guess where it's so much better in a darker film. But yeah, that's my next pick.
please cut together all that like found footage Batman stuff from like, the Dark Knight, Batman vs Superman and all that sort of, that's the perfect Batman when
Oh,
you can't
100%.
see, you can't see his face, he's a ghoul in the dark. Anyway, all right, my second pick. The Fan 4 Stick movie, the best movie put out by Fox in 2015's Fan 4 Stick, Dr. Doom.
Yes,
The
I've got that one too.
You've got that? Yay! Whoopee! Okay, all right.
Why is that? No, never mind.
Okay, so in the comics, yeah, sure, Dr. Doom has his face burnt to his mask, and they decide to one-up this by this costume is, I think from memory, it's his space suit that's just been grafted to him after they go to
I'm pretty sure
the
that's what
zero
it is.
dimension or whatever it's called. Considering, I can't remember when the movies came out, it was like, 2005 was the Fantastic Four beforehand?
2005 and 2007.
I'm not saying that those Dr. Doom suits were perfect, but leagues better. Like, who is this guy?
I think
He
they
looks-
looked a lot more plasticky, where this one just looks like a CGI mess. I can understand what they're going for because I think the original intention behind the movie from Josh Trank was that it was going to be like a body horror thing.
Which
So
is
having this, like-
interesting. I'm not I'm not dissing that. I do think Fantastic Four has a lot of room for body horror.
Yeah, 100%. But I think there's a difference between a great idea and the execution. And
Yes.
I think that there is a big disparity between those two in this movie.
All right, yeah, no, fair. No, this just looks crap. And then they try to give him like the cowl after, and it's just obviously it's another Doctor Doom where his origins aren't honored. He's not, King of Latveria or whatever. So yeah, it just looks shockingly bad, and I don't like how skin tight it is. It's no longer armor. It is his skin effectively. Yeah, horrible.
It's not really intimidating, I don't think.
No, he looks hurt and almost like I sort of want to... I know he's got those evil glowing eyes, but at the same time, his face looks sort of sad, and I'm like, I want to make sure... You look like a burn victim. All right. Well, okay, I guess that was both of our second picks. So, Lennon, do you mind if I go again for my third?
Hey, man, just go for gold.
I'm gonna jut in. All right. Well, my third costume that I really don't like is Venom. Now, I could say that that's the Tom Hardy Venom because they didn't do the Spider logo, but no, it's not that one. It's the Spider-Man 3 movie, 2007.
Right,
It's that Venom. Why would you think I would hate this? You know, I'm a comic book nut. Why do you think I would hate this version of Venom?
I will just quickly say that I feel like there was like 2 frames of the movie where they got the face correct. But then outside of that, they don't have the physicality, the size, and just how he moves. Like, they didn't do anything like that. It was just like basically another Spider-Man.
Yeah, and he has like long yellow nails at one point. He's too skinny.
Yeah.
Like,
He's
it's
a small boy.
Yeah, and like
He's your
Eddie
pocket
Brock
Venom.
in the comics is a hulking mass of a man, and I get that they didn't hire an actor that is, again, Sam Sulek, so I guess we're coming right back to we got to pump these guys full of TRT way earlier and way bigger. I want them blown up like balloons. But yeah, no, nothing about this screamed Venom 100% to me. It sort of more felt like it was still Spider-Man's build, and I just think Venom should be more physically
old Spider-Man.
Yeah, and like sure, we get the teeth at times. They're a bit yellow. I don't really like that. But I mean, like, I guess the Tom Hardy Venom, at least in Venom 1, he had that as well. But yeah, I really didn't rock with this one at all. I just think if you're going to do Venom, do them right. I remember hearing an interview where they were talking about they had comic Venom, or I can't remember what they called it, but they had like a moment of comic Venom. Do you remember when Spidey's bashing all the poles and the symbiote's going nuts and you can see the face screaming out of him? You know what he looks like. That, like, you have just said, oh yeah, no, you know, he looks comic. Do that for the whole thing. Just make him big. That's all I want. I want his toes out.
Okay, that's interesting. Tell me more about that.
No. So what is your third pick? Moving on.
So with my next one, it's similar to Ben Affleck's Batfleck.
Okay.
It's Chris Evans's Captain America from the first Avengers.
From the first Avenger, yes! He almost made my list too.
This costume fucking... Dude, he just looks like a fucking nerd. Like, he just is not, like, intimidating. He just looks like a fucking dork. And and it makes me sad, dude, because his costume in Captain America, the first Avengers, fucking slapped. And then
it's
even his costume, his shield costume in his second standalone movie, The Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Man, beautiful. He's had some
Captain
really
America,
great
if you
costumes.
erase the first Avengers movie from your viewpoint of Captain America suits, he's almost never missed. Like, it's hit for hit.
Yeah,
every single costume bangs.
Except for this one. This one fucking sucks.
That's what I mean. If you delete this one from your brain, I especially like when they finally put like the scaling sort of feathers on him in Endgame. I think it's Endgame. That's perfect for me. But yeah, continue on as to why you hate this Captain America that sort of looks like he's wearing pajamas.
To be honest, I think it's the combination of like his cowl and his helmet. Like when he doesn't have his helmet on, you can see that he's kind of got like this hoodie situation going on, and it's just like, to me, it just looks like, you know, one of those guys who just wears a t-shirt but it still has a hoodie on it, and it's just like it just doesn't fit, and it just doesn't work with his costume. Also, the fact that the film is shot almost like really shitty lighting, shitty colors, so visually it just looks like you're watching an episode of TV. So this is the one costume from that movie that I think just looks like a made-for-TV costume. So that's why I don't like it.
Okay, excellent. All right, I'm going to move. This is where my take starts to get a little bit hot because some people really like this and I was disappointed. So
okay,
Netflix Daredevil. So no. I love the Daredevil costume. Wait.
Okay,
but
I'm edging here.
Okay, so for a couple of years, we had Bullseye from that series, and his costume in that series was just basically it was a Daredevil costume, and that's fine because it made narrative sense. I wasn't too worried about that. But then when there was rumors of Bullseye coming back when the Disney Plus show started firing up, I was like, okay, perfect. We can finally get an honest to God Bullseye costume. Like, he would probably not be running around in the same Daredevil costume anymore. Awesome. Lots of people, when they saw set photos of the Bullseye costume, loved it. Talking about the one from the Disney Plus show. I fucking hated it. It's
really?
A ski mask with some it doesn't look like Bullseye. Well, where's the Bullseye? The Bullseye. Where's...
Give me Colin Farrell's tattooed or like scar in his forehead with a trench coat any day of the week.
Now we're getting into something deep. Bullseye has never had a good costume cinematically. Like, he has never had... I'm a big fan of like the Chip Stavinsky. I can never pronounce that guy's last name. the comic book Bullseye from Chip Straczynski, where he has like the white bullseye and like the white paneling, and it's like sort of like a modern interpretation of his classic costume, or even like in the Ultimate runs where he has like the same sort of look but a full face mask. I don't think he needs a full face mask because I think something that's good about his character is a psychopath, and you need to see him smiling and getting pleasure from doing all this insane shit he's doing. But I would even prefer that. Like when you look up Bullseye costumes, Disney Plus like cosplay, a lot of people have like taken the Disney Plus costume and then added the bullseye on top, and it's such a simple thing. You don't have to go full like Chip Straczynski and have like, you know, the white paneling around the gloves and around the upper chest, even though I'll send you photos after this, but that to me is the perfect bullseye costume.
Okay.
Do that. Just do that. That would be perfect.
I just feel like he looks like a fucking classic stereotypical burglar for some reason.
Yeah.
With his costume.
There's
so I don't
so
know.
many better ways to do this.
Yeah. Good pick.
Don't be afraid to do the white bullseye stuff. It's part of his character. Anyway, what is your? This will be your third or fourth? This will be your fourth.
This will be my last. I've already gone
This
through
is your
all
last.
mine, except
Oh,
for this
excellent.
one.
I'm bad at counting. All right, give me your last take.
Yeah, that's why you didn't finish bicycle. So this last one is, I don't know, I'll probably cop a bit of flack for this.
Okay.
But I liked it at the time, but I don't like it now. I think in hindsight, because I used to think that this costume was the best iteration because it was like the most modern. Christian Bale Batman.
That's my last take.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Are you serious? Yes.
Specifically from The Dark Knight.
Yes. I got that too.
Oh, I have so much to say about this, dude.
Vindication.
I've hated it from the rip. Oh, dude.
See, I didn't mind the Batman Begins one because that one feels a little bit more like Batman 89 or whatever, like Michael Keaton's. But then they tried to make it, you know, it's gritty and in reality, and Gotham is Chicago and all that stuff. And it's just like, okay, you know, I get it. He looks tactical, but his head looks fucking stupid, and it's like his mouthpiece or whatever.
Yes. I was on the phone to my brother. My brother doesn't care about comics at all. I talk about this for like half an hour on the phone to my brother just the other day, and I could tell he just put the phone on silent and walked away.
He's like, oh wow, that's crazy. Whoa.
Dude, I've seen people go in and Photoshop a better cowl because like, okay, so the cowl that we get from the Bale Batman is it goes pretty much from his nose down to his chin, whereas it should go up towards his ears, so you get the jawline similar to like Robert Pattinson or any comic book iteration. When you get that little mouthpiece, it makes the mask look like it doesn't fit. Like it makes it look either too tight.
It looks too tight.
It looks too tight, and it just doesn't look like a cowl. It doesn't look like a headpiece. It looks like he's stuck in that thing, and it makes him look a little bit silly.
I think that in combination with his voice as well, it just.
I was just going to say, do you reckon the cow's too tight, and that's why his voice is like
that's
that?
That's why he sounds like that. He's like,
yeah, breathe. It's the pressure of the cowl on his throat, and it's just, oh my god, fuck.
Dude, can you imagine? It would just take like the fucking a feather to his neck, and he's just TKO'd. He's out. Down
his
for the
larynx
count.
is destroyed. But like, it's not just that. Okay, so I think to zoom out, I've never been a big fan of the armored Batman look. I think when I make this complaint in the past to friends and family, literally done it this week, so I obviously talk about it a lot.
Anyone who's willing to listen,
even those that aren't. But like, I give Robert Pattinson a bit of a pass just because I do like that interpretation of the character. It does still suffer from Batman has to be gritty and realistic, which I hope.
I like it. Yeah.
I hope James Gunn's work on Batman the Brave and the Bold in the future, I don't think they'll have that same issue.
I hope it's more steered towards like the Batfleck one.
Yes. Well, okay, so the Batfleck one for me, even though you say what you will say about those movies, I think the general base Batfleck suit is almost perfect because you can tell you can tell he's still got his gauntlets on his arms. That's fine. That's very ninja-esque. You can still have gauntlets, but like you can almost tell, yes, it's believable that there's armor padding under that. And I guess in the comics, you look at any main suit, he's not wearing armor. He's wearing a costume that looks like it's made of fabric, unless you go to like he's built a metal suit to fight Superman, or it's like the Hell suit or whatever, Hell Bat suit, or I can't remember the name of that one, but like unless it's for a specific reason, Batman suit looks to be made of fabric outside of his gauntlets and his boots and his belt, and his cowl. But like, I almost named every body part. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes. No, but you know.
Oh,
like,
you finished at the toes. Is that the most important one for you?
Yes. I need to see his toes exposed. But him and Venom apparently. But he's trained in the mountain to be a ninja. The Batman to me represents, he stands aside the Justice League, who have all these powers and stuff, because he's the peak human in every way. He's the peak money. He's the peak adopting children. He's the peak smarts, tactical intelligence, and physicality and fighting skill. For him to hide behind armor and mainly throw elbows for 3 movies, it just
that's his one move.
That's his favorite move.
And it's like he has to pivot his whole upper torso to be able to reach the next person and see where the other person is or whatever. So it just looks so bizarre,
stupid,
and restrictive.
Yeah, I think that for me, this suit just takes away from who Batman is and should be. And I think it did sort of leave a stain on cinema. That probably is the subject of another video. But okay. That's all my 5 ones. Green Lantern, Doctor Doom, Venom, any Bullseye ever, and the Christian Bale Batman. What were yours again? You had...
So I had Batfleck from The Flash. I had Superman, Brendan Routh from Superman Returns. I Captain America 2012 Avengers. And I also shared Christian Bale, Batman, and 2015 Doctor Doom.
Yeah, I think, okay, if we were just to sort of close up this video and come to some sort of consensus, because I think we have quite a wide range of criticisms against quite a wide range of types of suits. What do you think makes a bad superhero suit?
Whatever DC did between the years of 2005 and 2012.
Nice. I think if I'm going to summarize it, I think there's a couple different things, but I think being afraid of your character, for example, the Bullseye suit, I think they're afraid of the design there. The Venom, I think they're afraid of the design there. Doctor Doom, I think they're afraid of what Doctor Doom should be. If you're afraid of the character that you're trying to bring into live action, you're probably not going to make a good suit. And then there's obviously some sideline, like just Green Lantern sucks. Okay. Yeah.
I also think there's a difference between what looks functional to us and what actually is functional. Like you hear the whole, like say for example with James Bond, he's got like fucking 80 different suits, depending on what scene he's doing, because he might need a slightly bigger size because he's got an action scene, and then when he's just standing at a bar or something, he's got a different size there. But we don't know that as the viewer. We just assume it's the same suit. So I would assume that it's probably the same thing as well, where back in the day, maybe they designed these suits to just be as functional or practical for a movie set rather than being what looks practical or functional on the actual movie itself for the viewer. Does that make sense?
That makes sense, but they have money, so get around that.
Yeah, I know, right?
Figure that out. That is your job.
Give us the money, and we might come up with a better design. Actually, we won't.
All right, no. That's okay. So that's a good conclusion to the video. Everyone, sound off in the comments below what you think is a bad or a shit suit from comic book movie history. And in the meantime, me and Lennon are gonna start a GoFundMe to make our own movie.
Fucking pop off in the comments.